There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Hangout and Hobby. I'm Richard Siegler.
I'm John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
And we are here to hang out, do some hobbying.
Indeed. Maybe paint our Harlequin army?
Man,
nah, we both know that's not happening.
Let's not get crazy, John. That is a lot to ask.
All right. How are you doing today, Richard?
Great. I'm about to continue building the monolith here. I built the first major section of the monolith. Now I've got to add the... basically the big outside pieces.
Heck yeah.
So it's going to come together pretty quick, but this is the progress.
Look, I'm just happy that we're going to potentially be seeing a monolith.
This was like a million steps.
On the table.
This thing alone took me like 20 minutes.
Well, that's cool, though. It's got like a whole wraith in it. That gives it a 3-up pinball, right?
Oh, yeah, I wish.
Yeah? It's got the phasing.
Not a 3-up pinball. 4.
Okay. 4-up pinball, maybe.
3-up pinball was just silly.
It was pretty silly. They've been getting rid of those.
They've been toning that back. So I don't expect Riptides to have it for very much longer.
You know what? You always know the words to say to put me in a good mood.
They'll get other things, John. Don't worry.
No.
Give them more broken rules.
That's not what we want. We want less broken rules. That's what I'm in the mood for.
That's true. Speaking of which, orcs.
Yeah.
They got speedwad, John. Can you believe they just get extra defense? Extra defense, Lieutenant Aura. OBSEC Warbikers with 1,000 shots.
Yeah. I mean, compared to, your Army of Renown?
I mean, my Army of Renown doesn't add extra shots. Or OBSEC.
No, but it adds a lot of other things.
It adds advanced and charge to my melee units, which, in a game where you're not getting shot
and extra
in your deployment zone, I mean, it's an expensive strat.
Good thing it's always cheaper. Right on, but that's alright. I am working on Tyranids today. I am painting up some beloved Sky Slasher Swarms. They've been in my list for like a month, and they're like already one of my favorite things ever. They're Rippers with wings.
I've been harping on the Sky Slashers for a while, just because I thought they were cool. And now...
Yeah, glad that...
They're actually seeing the table.
I'm glad that we're actually getting them on the table now. So very happy to get these little guys painted up. They're actually going to be in my list at Warzone Atlanta this weekend. Also painting up some Devourer Gods for that exact same event. So all Tyranids today for me, just painting. I performed the weekly non-tournament tradition of watching football and painting for an entire Saturday. That's how you keep up with these things.
Is that how you do it?
That's how you do it. Yeah, exactly. That's how you get ready for tournaments. Watch football, paint Tyranids. Everything else is just a bonus. Those are the important things in life. Saturdays are for the Gaunts, right? You've heard that before?
The Gaunts.
Saturdays are for the Gaunts.
John had so many Gaunts on the table.
It sure wasn't 0, but we're getting there. No matter how many Gaunts you ever paint, GW will like change the loadout of what you need slightly so that you have to paint more. There is no escaping it. You don't fight it. You just accept that you always need to have 30 nuance per Gaunts for whenever GW makes any rules changes.
It was funny, clown mode, because John posted in our little chat a clip from GSC Reddit where they were like, wolf quads, everybody start building wolf quads. These Art of War guys know what's up. And we're like, we really don't.
We actually don't.
We actually don't. It would be cool if wolf quads were good, but I have no expectation. It's like that when we bought like 3 Wolf and Dreads, and everybody was like, Wolf and Dreads are going to be broken, buy them. They got 0 buffs.
Oh, buddy.
But, hey guys, guess what? Go out there, buy 3 monoliths. Games Workshop, you should be paying us to say these types of things.
Absolutely, yes. The monolith meta is sneaking up.
It's coming up, baby.
Yep, chapter approved in December. The monolith is going to become a dedicated transport and go down 200 points while gaining the flag keyword.
Oh,
Just letting you know now. get on top of
That
this.
would be enough, John.
And it'll be core.
That would be enough.
And it'll be core,
It doesn't
right?
even need core, John.
You know what? But
you
it's
give
going
it
to
the
be core
other-
anyway.
You might as well.
Well, you might as well.
You might
Let's
as well.
get that monolith.
Let the
meta
Silent King let it reroll wounds in combat. That's what I'm about.
Excellent. Yes.
Can we get my opinion on last week's Art of War tier list? Well, I'll tell you, Black Templars are the best Space Marine chapter.
We are in agreement.
So they are A
We
tier.
really are.
They're right above Deathwatch and White Scars, which I believe are the next two. And Blood Angels is hanging around Space Wolves towards the bottom of B tier.
Richard and I
Really didn't care about Dark Technomancer racks because either they dramatically overkilled whatever Tau had, or they couldn't kill the Crisis unit. And that Crisis unit was really good at picking up Raiders, and you could shoot all your other small shots in. They also didn't have great ways to deal with Remoras. It's good for that meta. Yeah. However, Sisters with Bodyguard Abuse came out, then AdMech came out, and they just do everything better by a million miles. Orcs came out, AP3, indirect fire, and all of it's bad. Tau has no chance.
it's certainly a choice in the freebooted meta. MSU is a decision to make.
Even without Orcs, though, it was still they were declining, and then Orcs was the final death knell for that. So
Poor Tau. Well, at least you've got a Codex. And did you see that they hinted at a new model for you this morning?
yeah, they did.
They sure did.
Who is a Pathfinder character, I wonder?
If we check any of the leaks from like the last 2 months, they all say the same thing.
Wouldn't possibly be Darkstrider.
Would not possibly. This is Light Strider.
They are giving a lot of love to the Tau Sept. Shadow Sun got the last model update, now Darkstrider.
Well, I feel like if this is a codex, which I think they announced that it was a codex, not a campaign, right? Then it makes sense to go with, your Ultramarines.
Yep.
Farsight feels like a supplement thing. You know how like you got Blood of Ball and a Plastic Mephiston? I feel like that's what's going to happen to Farsight. Plastic Farsight.
I'm ready.
Whatever the next campaign after Octarius. He won't be in that.
Tau have yet to be in a campaign
after that. No, they were in a campaign in 7th.
Yeah, in 8th and 9th they have not. Since the rules
Yeah,
changed.
other than the Psychic Awakenings, yeah.
But they haven't been in any of these campaigns, which interesting choice.
They're the correct one, clearly. We don't know Tau.
I guess it's harder in the fluff to just justify Tau show up.
It is, because the Tau aren't anywhere on the galactic scene. It's literally just, like, you have to make Tau the main focus. Tau don't just, like, sideshow up to anything.
Yeah.
How many Devil Gaunts is enough? Major League Nerd, I'm going to be trying out 60. And it's possible I decide 60 is too many, and it's possible I decide 60 is not enough. So if you see me scrambling to buy 90, then you know. I think that 60 is the cap, however. I think 60 is very good, but you don't really need more. But I am willing to put that to the test another time.
Clown Mode with a $5 super chat. After seeing AdMech have a 48% win rate at GW Open, should we start comparing them to Tau?
You know what? I actually figured out something about that AdMech 48% win rate.
Yeah.
It included 9 players who dropped and got a 0 for their round. So there were 9 losses in there that were for games that did not get played.
9 AdMech players dropped?
At some point in the tournament, there were 9 zeros on AdMech players. And so I don't know how many total games it was, so I cannot tell you the correct percentage, but I feel like that lowered it. And if you put 9 losses that didn't
Games
exist
Workshop conspiracy in action. Lower that AdMech win rate. They're paying AdMech players to drop out.
You know what? I would too. I really would. I would love to. Richard, what's your price?
I have no price, John.
No? I'll buy you a plane ticket to not come.
The machine cannot be bought. But yes, in fact, Tau are significantly worse. I don't know what their win rate is right now, but I assume it's in the 30s.
It's probably not that high up there.
I got them to like 42% or something in
you remember
May.
that glorious week where Ultramarines were good and then they just went straight back down?
Them and Tau have just gone plummeting. Do you guys think you'll see 6 flyer lists at the GW event or Warzone? I would not. I would expect to see it.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
I have already seen...
And if Manny's coming, every flyer he could fit into a list is going to come.
I mean, at that point, he's going to sneak like a 4th patrol in somehow and just get another 2 flyers.
The Blitz-Obamas.
Blitz-Obamas, not the Blitz-Obamas. The Warzone list is already live, and I can tell you that there will be players there who are taking 6 flyers. 100% certainty they will be there. So that's just an experience that I'm going to get to have.
Welcome to the meta.
Welcome to the meta.
$5 super chat from Mr. Kyle Norman. Thank you so much, Kyle. For my birthday, can you judge this Grey Knight list? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kyle.
2 Grandmasters, Tech Marine Drago. 1 unit of strikes, 2x10 interceptors, 1 purgation squad with side cannon, in a patrol, and a spearhead. I mean, you have most of the best units there. I assume the spearhead contains the other Dread Knights, which I don't see listed, but I'm going to assume that they're there.
The points lead me to believe that there are several more
There
Dread Knights.
should be some extra.
I would guess 2, because there's Drago.
Yeah, 2, and the Purgation Squad would be the third heavy support choice. Super solid list. I have gone away from Drago simply because he's basically he's equivalent of a Dread Knight, and Dread Knights are just better. He works very well if you have a big unit of infantry that you want to buff, like say for instance a Paladin unit that you take, maybe like a 5-man. You go ahead and pick the power to Fire and Fade and put that on them because they have that stratagem. And then you just do that. You buff them each turn with the Stormbolter strat, and you Fire and Fade out of terrain. That's where having full rerolls would be super helpful. So that's the kind of style. He helps with the Purgation Squad, but honestly, it's kind of hard to maneuver them as much. And they really want to get in half range, which is kind of difficult against the targets you want to when your opponent has any sort of screening.
Don't Grey Knights have a stratagem to counter stationary?
That is only for... that doesn't work on the side cannon side.
Oh, okay.
He'll chapter master them, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But I just haven't found them effective. When they shot into a unit of Rubric Marines and killed 2 of them with like 3 CP, I was like,
back to the Dread Knights, huh?
It's not them. It's not those Purgation Squads. But they're not terrible. Like, they can still do some damage.
Would a Venerable Dreadnought with Las Cannons and Mist Launcher be the heavy support slot?
That is terrible, John.
Oh, breaking my heart here.
Also, it's an elite choice.
It's an elite choice. It doesn't even fill the spearhead.
No.
I didn't even know what slot of box.
I would run the Storm Raven before I ran the Venerable Dreadnoughts.
Dude, what's up with that Storm Raven? You know me. I like big dumb vehicles that no one takes. So
in Sword Bearers, you can give it a 4-up invuln.
That's better than not having an invuln, I suppose.
Exactly. It still shoots a lot, but...
Is Sanctuary core locked?
No, you can Sanctuary.
So if you had 2 Storm Ravens, you could give them both 4-up invulns with
You
Sanctuary?
could.
Oh.
But
Richard!
Boy, do you not want to go second.
Richard!
Boy, do you not want to go second and not have those invulns.
Double Storm Ravens! Come on!
We could do it just against Nick.
There's no better time.
So overall, yeah, like the Grey Knight list, I think more Dread Knights is just better. You've seen that kind of at the top tables where if you just go for the max efficiency, which is Interceptors and Dread Knights, it's hard to do poorly with that list.
Yeah, but we have seen Drago do well. So if you happen to be a big fan of Drago, I don't think he's a hindrance. Like, he's not an anchor on the list.
No.
Like, I think David actually had Drago in his list when he won the Crucible Major.
Yeah.
So Drago's solid. I think a lot of people go for that Dread Knight, but Drago's pretty good. It just kind of makes you want to keep one of those infantry as a 10-man, which, if that's already part of your strategy, works out. If not, maybe consider the other Dread Knight.
Yeah, but he's not bringing the Chaplain anyway, so... Even 5, if you really need to kill something with 5 guys and don't want to commit your army, Drago does help there, and you don't have to go for Prescient Detachment either.
Got it, okay.
So, it's definitely not bad.
Not bad.
He's also a good caddy for Psychic Powers.
Gons.
I think Speed Freaks is better than Freebooters, honestly.
Oh, Travis Loads, how many Wolf Quads do you have painted? It's the only question. If it's not 9, you're not ready. Wolf Quads are the meta. Get ready for it.
9.
All 9 Wolf Quads. Maybe 18. Maybe you can take them in squads like bikers and in like attack bikes. I don't actually know. I'm assuming not. But what if they can be attack bikes? Do you think Nick is ready for Wolf Quad hype?
No, he is not ready.
Dude, when we get the Genius Codex, I don't care how good or bad bikes are, because I actually have no idea. I'm going to get 45 of them, slam them on the table, and I'm going to be like, Nick, get out your attack bikes. We're doing this. We're going racing. I'm going to go laps around to Nick Autobody. No questions asked.
He's not going to know what hit him.
He won't. He won't. It's a blip, and suddenly it just like zipping by him, leaving him in the dust.
Who's painting Nids? John.
Oh, that Dango?
Always.
Come on. Come on, man. You know it's me. You know I'm a bug lover at heart. Everyone who has paid attention to the tournament scene for the more than the past 2 years knows that I'm a Tyranid player.
They'll figure it out.
Other than the last 2 years. Yeah, you know. No, I feel honestly, I'm just so happy to be playing bugs again. And especially with the Genius Cult on the horizon. I mean, Tyranids and Genius Cult are just the best. So if hopefully the Codex for Genius of the Cult is worthy of some love and attention, I would love to get those guys on the table again. Are we ready for Warzone? Heck yeah, Justin. Come say hi to me. Me, Jack, and I think Mark will be there as well. So 3 of the gang will be there. Hopefully we will do well, but Warzone's a great event, so I'm looking forward to it either way.
Is this the first time they've held it? Like the big version of it in a while?
Yeah, this is the first time since you went.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't do it last year, as many events were canceled last year. So yeah, first time in a while for Warzone, and it's a little bit new format here, but I'm really looking forward to it. I went 3 years ago. I went in 2018. After John's sales pitch on Storm Speeders, not sure if one should get 9 Wolf quads. Sniper, the Storm Speeders will be good. I thought they would be good this year, and it turns out they're going to be good at some point in the next 5 years, probably. No promises. Hey, I have 3 Primaris Storm Speeders, all new on sprue, that I bought on like a gamble before the last update, and here they are, new on sprue, unpainted.
That's why I have a monolith. I just bought Necron units.
Yeah,
like, something has to be good, especially some of these new things. And
it's one of those things where like I had stored credit. I'm like, yeah, like I bet these would be good. No, I keep thinking that they're gonna make like the new Primaris vehicles like the ones you want to take, and they're just not doing that. Hunter Nichols, I have a question for you. Go ask Kelly whether or not they allow callouts. Hunter, you've been dodging me for too long. I've been dodging you. I just keep hiding at top tables, Hunter, and until you can use your keen senses to find your way up there, alas, we can't play. But if there's round 1 challenges, Hunter, we will throw it down Friday morning. You can get your shot. Take a shot at the king, Hunter, but you better not miss. Yeah, Snivar, no promises on the next 5 years, but we can hope, right? I think they've got to be good at some point. Like, and the Gladiator. I have a Gladiator, too.
Got a $5 super chat from Mr. Clown Mode. Thank you so much, Clown Mode. What are some of the things you hammered into Nick before he played Grey Knights at the team tournament? What are some of the mistakes that you see? Grey Knights is a very simple army, and Nick likes to overcomplicate things, as you've seen. So, what does Grey Knights do? You pick basically the same 3 secondaries nearly every time, unless there's an easier one. You pick Stranglehold, you pick the Psychic Ritual.
Purifying Ritual.
Psychic Ritual, John.
Okay, one of the 2.
One of the 2. And then you have you could pick any number of psychic secondaries, but you could pick in a psychic secondary. And then you're going to pick the Retrieve Areas data and pretty much stick with those. And unless it's priority targets or sweep and clear, you're going to stick with those 3, and the army plays those secondaries relentlessly. You should max them no problem every time. So in which case, it all comes down to primary. You just need to keep the primary even. Grey Knights do that well, especially on player place terrain. If you can make sure one objective's out in the open, that's the objective you shoot away. You can test the other one if it's a 6 objective mission, and rinse and repeat, turn after turn.
Hold your own by being relatively durable, obsec.
Yep, have potential double obsec plays with Unyielding Anvil and a Noble Death. It's just you just stick with the core. Don't overcomplicate the game with Grey Knights, and all they do is win. So
man, that's bizarre. Hunter hasn't said anything since I mentioned playing him round 1 in Warzone. Weird. Hunter, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Hunter? Are you still in the chat? Come on, buddy.
He X'd it out.
He closed it out. I'm really looking forward to Warzone, and Hunter, it'll be good to see you, man. Hope you had a good birthday last week.
You played against Manny 6 Planes at Coventry. What can men do against such reckless hate? Hope for an FAQ at some point in the future. Because, man.
I'm in a group chat that has a lot of European players, and apparently, like, his round 3, he, like, went second against Admech or something. Or Eldar with, like, a bunch of missile launchers. And the legend goes that Manny failed a single save on turn 1. A single 5-up invul, and he had both of the players next to him stop to watch the rest of the shooting phase because he was just so hot. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's fun to spread the rumors. Oh, Manny's had some pretty crazy stories about him, so I wouldn't even be that shocked. That man is going off this year. He's having a great run recently.
And he's running 6 planes. That is a number.
That is a number you can take. That is a choice that you can make. Hopefully he paid for his opponent's therapy.
Hunter says he was at top tables at NOLA but couldn't find you there, John.
I was hiding behind Brad. Darn, it works. They got me too early. Hey, Fat Dingo. John, I've been testing with 2 16s of Gene Stealers, but having issues hiding the army in deployments. Any ideas? Don't hide. Everything in Tyranid is designed to die. Just go forward and kill. I'm mostly joking, by the way. Really, though, I use reserves and the redeploy to hide units as best I can. It also very well may depend on terrain. I've been practicing a lot on the GW terrain format for to get ready for Austin.
Yeah.
So that I've had no problem at all hiding 16-man Gene Stealer squads. If you don't have that, just make sure that you don't have too many things taking up space. I guess look at what you can reserve or just taking small units. I know Brad is a fan of smaller Gene Stealer units because he's worried about getting shot, whereas I do not fear bullets.
When do we expect any FAQs? Almost certainly when Chapter Approved comes out.
Yeah, I expect it to come out before the next Orc Codex, so we'll see about that.
Hopefully orcs don't have any more rules hiding.
Great. No, there needs to be one before the Tyranid Codex because there's going to be a separate Tyranid nerf FAQ whenever they get a new codex. It happens every time.
But usually when they release a Chapter Approved, it'll be all sorts of the Minotaur field manual, so that'll be all the points, and then they usually update the rule book and some core rules.
But they haven't announced if December is going to be a Chapter Approved because,
we don't know.
The last 2 books were in June and July, so maybe. It's possible, but I don't know. I have a feeling that they're going to drop another one of those just PDFs on us of here's everyone's points, and we're going to put it in a White Dwarf. Have fun. Then none of us will buy the White Dwarf because they made it a PDF, and that's enough for me. Termagants are everywhere.
Do you think Tau double Riptide list with +1 against flyers could be successful against freebooters? I mean, you really have to go first. And even then, I just don't think you do enough because they pop -1 to hit and have invulns. And at that point, it's super swingy.
Well, the -1 to hit actually doesn't benefit the aircraft.
Not the aircraft, they're all the buggies.
Yeah. Well, I figure you probably take 1 turn of just trying to hide behind obscuring and blow up planes, and then the second turn you come forward to try to get the buggies. Because buggies don't always hit you turn 1 if you deploy conservatively.
The run like squig buggies are the scariest one for Tau because it's just AP3 flat 2 damage is going to be blowing away. They're going to proc freebooters immediately, and they're going to get so many pluses to hit that you'll just die. So you need to go first, and hopefully you kill all the WASBoom jets and can play the game from there. But that's still just exceptionally hard. And Tau has none of the power of that.
No, they certainly do not. Very, very few people do.
Yeah.
People that do usually aren't -1 damage.
Is Blood Angels top of B or not? No. They're at the bottom with Space Wolves. Bottom of B.
I would put them very similar to Space Wolves. Did Siegler admit he fears the orcs yet?
I mean, that list is extremely scary. I don't want to play against it. I played against it. I went second against it, but...
Fear.
The miracles of the Omnissiah protected me.
That's what you call it, okay.
I mean, I could have just died there.
I did.
Is there typically a huge shift in tier lists post-FAQ? Honestly, the last 2 that they've done have been...
kind of meh?
Yeah, pretty mediocre, honestly.
Yeah,
in 8th edition, yes.
In 8th edition, yeah.
They put out some serious changes and FAQ changes.
Remember that time they changed the Inari rules and the birds started singing. There were fresh flowers outside. Yeah, remember that? That's great.
So they haven't done any really massive changes. The changes to Drukhari were minimalist. They got rid of some of the really broken stuff, obviously Dark Technomancers, and the extra CP they started with.
Yep.
But there hasn't been any earth-shattering ones where you just drop Drukari drops to B tier or something. That has not happened.
No,
and I doubt that'll happen, honestly.
Yeah, even if that were to happen.
They just don't
at this page, like no announcement, nothing. I feel like they probably started working. If there's an FAQ, I feel like they probably started working on it after they dropped that little community poll thing. But also maybe they didn't get the results because I don't know. Like everyone that I know, when we got a community poll, the poll from last week.
It's gonna take them a while to just
it's gonna take them a while to download that, or not download to process.
If they're a machine.
If they were a machine,
if Games Workshop,
or if they were hiring machines to do their playtesting, we wouldn't be in this problem.
Let's see. Did you see Austin Wingfield's Nihilek build? There is hope. Maybe John and Brad actually can have something to talk about and know thy enemy now. Is it Double Catan? Yeah, I did see it. Double Catan and Nihilek is OBSEC, and they like flat advance. Something about advancing, I think. I forget exactly.
Are they the ones that advance and shoot, or are they the ones that auto advance 6?
I think it's the auto advance.
Nice. Are they the ones? God, I remember like the lore of it. It's the ones that are like a little more golden because they translocate or something, and they can fall back over enemy models.
Yes,
which is very specific but cool when it comes up.
He had like minimalist buffs for the warrior brick that he had. Mm-hmm. So he had the Chronomancer and the Ghost Arc.
Yeah.
No Technomancer.
Technomancer.
But I believe he did have the Orb. So decent support for warriors. I wonder what the terrain was like there.
Yeah, what event was this at?
It was one of the ones happening, I assume, in like the Caroline area. That's usually
I think where he lives, yeah. Very cool.
Ignore AP1 in deployment zone and auto advance. Okay.
In deployment zone.
Yeah, it's overly restricted.
That is a little specific. Like, just a little bit.
I mean, I wonder what other lists were there. But Catan aren't the easiest things to kill if there's good midfield terrain, because they can get up there and then just Sky of Falling Stars if you expect a lot of MSU armies.
You just got to, if you deploy the Void Dragon on the line and then you get into those orcs, they can only kill you in the charge phase.
Now, they have a million ways to do mortals in the charge phase, to be clear.
And they got even more in Octarius.
Yeah, they did.
They certainly did, yeah. And for anyone curious about those new Octarius rules, we actually have an orc clinic coming up later this week in the War Room, where the coaches are going to be going very specifically over what those Octarius changes mean for the boys in green.
That's good.
It is very good. I think it is a little bit better than what we've had so far with Freebooters, which is a terrifying prospect.
Yeah, that's not...
Because why would we have that?
Not what we were looking for.
Please, God, no. Alright. Monolith time. Drive Russian Termagant. Oh my goodness. Alright, what we got here? I feel that if shield draw points were decreased, they could actually do well against the orc list. Maybe?
I mean, if I could play my 8th edition list, possibly, because boy, do I not really care about what they're doing.
Yeah.
With drones that powerful at 10 points, sure, it's possible. But -1 damage is just an annoying ability when you're running the heavy burst cannons. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it would be a good profile to deal with them. But Ramshackle, man, that's a powerful rule.
Yeah. Travis Lowe's is asking about BAO. I think he's asking if we're planning to go. Definitely on the radar. I really enjoyed Barry Open last time we went, which was obviously over 2 years ago now. So hopefully the next BAO we can make it.
How do melee Marines like White Scars deal with Catan? Kill everything else?
Yeah, honestly, usually.
It's basically two models that are 750, so 700 points, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's a lot in just 2 units. And Sky of Falling Stars isn't amazing against White Scars. It's fine. You like slowly plink away at the Vanguard vets.
Yeah.
But
I think good Space Marine lists are kind of teching for anti-mortal anyway, because I'm taking the Chaplain Litany in my White Scar list now. Travis clarified. Yes.
It's much better. They're much better into Blood Angels because typical Blood Angel players don't bring the Feel No Pain. And when you don't have that and you have large units of Sanguinary Guard, John, if I don't roll a 6 on Sky of Falling Stars, I'm just killing.
Just killing a Sanguinary Guard? Yeah. Free. I hate it so much.
Love you, Jack.
Travis, if Geniuses are called the viable, I mean, how could I say no to BAO? Really, though, I haven't really looked at next season for tournaments yet. Frankly, I was probably going to take a couple weeks off after LVO and then kind of plan out my travel. So, maybe? It's a strong maybe. I enjoyed it last time. Lou put 2.5 Dread Knights into a 6-wound plane. That is sad. That is very sad. Yeah, those, was it an orc plane? Because like, why don't those ever die? I think it's just orc players and 5-up invulns. I don't think there's anything else to it. It
was funny because in the stream game we played with my custodians against Mark's orcs, 3 Venatari came down and killed the wounded plane and had like 2 or 3 wounds left.
Oh, okay, 2 or 3 wounds. That makes sense. I was about to say, like, how the heck did Venatari kill a plane?
No, but it's just 3 Venatari. They were just like, yeah, we'll take care of this, no problem. You don't need to split fire.
No.
We got you.
Good. I hate planes. Just move planes to Apocalypse only. Narrative
play.
I don't know. Planes are fluffy, right? Put them in narrative. Crusade. Like, let's get some like ace badges for your planes in Crusade. Not matched play, please.
I mean, orcs are playing as intended, John. Okay.
Yes.
How much speed walk can you speed walk?
I mean, the orcs are apparently, they truly believe that they shoot harder than me, and boy golly, is that working for them.
John, do you think a new Ridge Runner data sheet should have flat 3 damage with 3 shots on a mining laser?
I think they should be 3 plus D3. I feel like it, because like most books have had 3 plus D3 put somewhere, and if it's going to be anywhere, I feel like the heavy mining laser is by far the most logical spot for a Gene Cult. Like what else? Like it's just their biggest gun.
What about the seismic hammer, or whatever it is?
Yeah, you know, I'd actually be okay with like some of the big aberrant weapons being D3 plus 3. Like the Abominant specifically, I guess. Yeah, I could accept some D3 plus 3 mining weapons, but since most of those are infantry born, I feel like that's a little too much. I feel like infantry weapons usually capped at like 3 or D3 or maybe D6 if I'm lucky.
New meta, John.
I mean, other than the tank hammer, which is of course just 6 mortal wounds. Yeah, I would love it if mining lasers one stopped being blast, please. It's a big las cannon. Why is it a blast?
Because it's like a mining charge goes off.
No, it's not. It's just a giant laser. It's like a twin las cannon. Just make it heavy too, please, and then just D3 plus 3 damage.
They went with blast all over the place.
They did.
They're like, this is going to be an impactful rule.
Oh my god, it was so weird. The weird part was that the mining laser, like, it wasn't a blast weapon in, like, when it came out. Mind control on a WAS bomb winning? Oh, David. I did mind control a WAS bomb when I was doing a practice game into Mark Perry. I think he forgot that was a thing. Like, he just forgot that, like, yeah, Gene Cult just has a spell called mind control. So, you know, I like told him before the game, like, yep, this is my Magus, mind control, mass hypnosis. We just kind of play the game, WAS bomb flies up, and I'm like, you kill your friend. Just D3 plus damage this guy off the table. It didn't work, but it was still like a healthy like 6 wounds, and I was happy with that. Those orc things are swingy. So swingy.
You're telling me.
I know. Every time they shoot against me, it's like just like 10 damage from every gun.
11 shots.
Yeah.
9 hits. What are we doing here?
And I just like rolled average on every roll, and I'm like, how did this lead to 1 failed save? I'm losing 5-man Terminator squads when these things shoot me, and I shoot back, and it's like, yeah, one wound, one turn. I'm like, really? 1? If a heavy mining laser gets D3 plus 3 before Doomsday Cannon, I riot. Adaptive subroutines, I am so sorry. But we've been planning this uprising for generations, which is, I'm sure, longer than Necrons have been around. I mean, literal generations here. So you guys just have to wait to get those good rules. The 10th edition starter box of the...
Necrons have the Gauss Annihilator. 3d3 damage, John.
Oh my god, I love that thing so much. God, getting shot by those was an experience. I played a game where I had a Contemptor get into a duel with 3 Destroyers with that, and every turn they got like 2 wounds through. I made 1 save, took a bunch of damage, healed 3, didn't shoot them back, just shot something else and ignored them. Failed 1 more save, took a bunch of damage. It's like, okay.
These are powerful.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna not degrade and just keep trying to level along here. Gonna start a crusade against my buddy. I have scars and he has Drukhari. Is this a bad idea for me? Absolutely not. You should always try to purge as many Xenos as possible whenever you're playing the Emperor's Angels. Do it for the con. I actually have no idea what the Crusade rules are like for Space Marines and or Dark Eldar, but I mean, if you're doing a Crusade campaign, I assume that it is just to have fun, so heck yeah, go for it.
This is my competitive Crusade campaign.
Yeah.
This is when you get serious, John.
That's fun.
Because you can run things like the Monolith in there.
I'm going to start getting Legends units out. Chaplain Dreadnoughts. That's how you deal with Dark Eldar. Chaplain Dreadnoughts. They're not ready.
No one's ready for the Chaplain Dreads.
I don't even know what the new Chaplain Dread rules are. I assume that, I mean, they're Legends. I assume that they're still broken. What if they're just not characters anymore?
That would be a big big blow.
It's like, you're not characters and you can't be used in match play. I'm like, okay.
We got a $5 super chat from Mr. Matt O. And Officiate Hype. John, I know you're in
my God, yes.
Bug World right now, but I'm still excited to try them at a GT this week.
100%, Matt. You gotta let me know how that goes. I am really hyped on Novitiates. I've changed my tune on them.
Really?
At first I thought...
That was quick.
Yeah. At first I was thinking, like, they're good, but you have to take a battalion to be worth it. Honestly, I think you put them in the list even if it's not filling a mandatory slot. It gives Sisters something that they just don't have. And that's important to me.
And what are they giving?
It's just a large body OBSEC squad that has weight of attacks for not expensive. Because like for 75 points, you just drop 40 just attacks on someone. Like, oh, okay. Leopold is asking, what would my current take on a Black Templar list be? I'm a big fan of some of the things that Jack ran into me, like especially in that War game Sisters versus Black Templars. Jack's kind of given up on that for some reason, which surprised both me and Richard considering he has not lost a game yet or been in danger of losing a game. But for some reason, he's not feeling the Templars. I think having 2 14-man Crusader units, a couple of Dreadnoughts. I like a mix of Contemptors and Redemptors. I know Jack was going all Redemptors. I like a mix along with both named characters and some good support pieces. And Jack and I both really like the Eradicator brick, especially into the current meta. Ooh, here's a question from Justin for USIGs. Speaking of mind control, why aren't we running Anarchyr into a Speedwog? What does Anarchyr do?
Anarchyr, the Traveler?
Anarchyr, the Traveler.
+1 attack aura, and he can, if you're within 12 inches, mind control a weapon on a vehicle unit.
A weapon?
Yeah.
Not a vehicle.
And it's not the whole vehicle,
a
I'm
weapon?
pretty sure.
Oh, that's so much worse. That's just not as good as if it was the entire thing.
I feel like you meant the Void Dragon, not Anarchyr.
Taking over one gun is not nearly as good, yeah.
No, I believe it's taking over one gun.
Although if you took over the 3D3 missile shots from a scrap jet, that's not the worst.
It's not the worst. You have to be within 12 inches, though. How is this
That is hard to deliver. Fair call. You gotta deep strike him in and then not get charged.
Yeah, but isn't it 12-inch range on Mind in the Machine? I'm pretty sure it's very short range. In which case, Anarchyr's a 5-inch moving character.
When it like that, I'm a little less
across the board.
I was hoping. I mean, Void Dragon and Anarchyr. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I feel like Jack should get his Blood Angels pick on the tier list by right of conquest. Matt, I don't want to hear that. I don't need Blood Angel sympathizers in this chat. No, Jack has done very, very well with Blood Angels. That's why he's so hyped on them right now.
Blood Angels are better than their win rate, for sure. But they're also a limited faction. They have some really hard counters.
Mm-hmm. That is a very true statement.
Yeah, with 12 in it, like it is cool. It is cool. Like, they fly the jet up, and then you go ahead and shoot one of the scary las cannons. But
Only one is.
It's so inconsistent.
Yeah, D6 shots hitting on 4s, no rerolls. That's a little risky.
And honestly, the squeak buggies are just gonna pick it. Your Lich Guard, they're gone. Squeak buggies just pick them up.
Yep, I could see that being bad.
So he's not really gonna be character protected.
Certainly not for long. That's right, because Lich Guard are a bodyguard-esque unit, right?
Yes, for infantry nobles.
Not for Catan?
No,
That's a pity.
nothing protects Catan.
Let's see, I think GSC aren't far off, just need a better save or more toughness and better trucks. Yeah, I don't think Gene's Cult are as far away from being competitive as their win rate would suggest. It's just that the things that they're lacking are just massive things to be missing. So I'm optimistic about the Gene's Cult Codex. I really think that with the 9th edition mindset, they can make this a very competitive army. And I certainly hope that they do, because boy, am I ready. How's this Monolith coming, Siegs?
There are just so many things to clip.
That's how I feel about Gaunts.
Look at all these.
There are. I'm just dry
This
brushing
piece alone
Gaunts.
had,
And I'm suffering. Fantastic.
because it had them in between all this.
Oh no. That is a choice that someone else made.
Just work.
Gotta work for a living, Siegs.
This is the first side, to be clear.
Marvelous. Fantastic. Perfect. Love it. I'm here for it, Siegs. That's a lot.
Which codex out of Custodes and GSC do you think will force the meta to change? Possibly both, because they're both in the total opposite directions.
They're both so extreme. Both coming out presumably at the same time. I'm kind of expecting we're getting a the same thing as Hexfire, where we had Thousand Suns and the Grey Knights Codex both come out on the same day with a box set. And I'm really guessing Custodes and Tau are going to be... I'm sorry, Custodes and Genestealer Cult are going to be the same way.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
So, which is unfortunate, because if they came out separately, I would probably play both armies. But as it is, gotta go bugs. Without seeing rules, I just have to be loyal to my Genestealer Cults. I hope Tanglefoot's Grenade is just no longer completely screws GNC.
It's such a good strat.
Yeah.
Like, man.
How long do we think we could go without FAQs or balance updates before the community or ITC would step in 7th edition style? Honestly, I don't expect that they will anytime soon, and I expect that we're going to get an FAQ or something by the end of the year or by January if they haven't done a chapter proof type thing to fix the many problems we have right now. Honestly, I think that if there was nothing by LVO, after LVO there would be serious talks about community patches. But I think we got time still, even though I would love it if we didn't have to wait for it.
Yeah, I don't see Frontline stepping in again.
No, not immediately.
They also just hated doing the amount of work.
Yeah,
The entire community was like on top of them. I didn't play at that time, but
I don't blame them for not wanting to be.
it's not their jobs.
It's
They don't
not.
get paid for it.
Some people theoretically might get paid for the FAQs. I don't actually know.
Maybe.
They've been on a lunch break. went out to get a smoke break, and they just never came back. Alright. So what are you getting this monolith ready for, Siegs? Why is this monolith really here?
Apocalypse, baby.
Apocalypse games?
Apocalypse, the forces of good versus the forces of chaos.
How did Necrons get onto the forces of good?
I mean, they're like chaotic good, honestly.
Yeah. So what for the
Because they hate chaos more than
That's
anything.
true. It's people who hate chaos.
Yes.
Because one side is going to be Necrons, Tau, and Knights, right? 3,000 points each.
Imperium.
Yeah, Knights. I mean, if we're taking some Knights, then like there's not enough points to do anything else interesting with Imperium. So at that point, we might as well just take more Knights. And also, I need to
take random guardsmen just for fun.
I'll put some Scions in. Some like assassins. We'll put 4 assassins and Eisenhorn in.
Yes.
Done, and then it'll be Knights.
And the demon host.
And yes, we will. Well, we're not paying for
Shrew
reserve points, so you know, let's just throw the demon point. What's Cherubel?
Yeah, Shrew.
Yep.
Woo. Let's see. $5 super chat from Mr. Meta. he asked that question. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any sort of FAQs. And from like ITC or Frontline.
There is theoretically a breaking point. I think that the community, people who would do that, are loath to do so right now.
Yeah.
Again, not that I blame them, because now that GW has shown that they're capable of stepping in, no one really no one wants to do it themselves.
Yeah, it's just
I certainly,
yeah.
As much as we talk about like, we could fix the game, I do not want to be a community member responsible for that.
Yeah. 7 CP is perfectly fine to start with Grey Knights. It's not a bad number. Yeah. I don't like going below 6 though.
Yeah, Grey Knights have good strats, so hey, if you can get more, that's good, especially if you have the CP regenerating spell in place. But I think I agree, 7 is a fine starting place. That's where a lot of the lists that I've written have ended up.
I bought a Talstar collecting Devilfish and Commander. What would you get next in prep for the new book? Just more strike teams? So I don't know what's going to be good in there, but what I would do anytime you're... No.
Yes.
No.
Storm Surges.
No.
Storm Surges.
No. If you were starting Tau for the first time, just get 3 start collecting boxes. If you already have 1, get 2 more. And that way you have 30 infantry. You've got 9 crisis suits, which you're going to magnetize all the weapon options on there. And then you get an ethereal, and then you add commander and devilfish, and that's a good core to start with.
How many storm surges do you own?
0. I don't. The storm surge is not good.
What if it becomes good?
Well, remains to be seen. The monolith is not good. I expect the storm surge to be trash as well.
Storm surge. No. The storm surge is my favorite Tau model.
Giant vehicle that just
so
gets blown.
Dumb. I love it.
Giant vehicle that gets blown apart in a second. It's gonna need obscene rules to be good.
Oh my god.
It's just not.
One of the times I played against Richard Martin's triple storm surge list, I messed up and I lost about like 1,100 points in a turn, and then my reserves came in and I pinned 1 storm surge against the wall, and I lived there for the entire game and like won by 2. It was a beautiful thing. 1 storm surge, because desperate breakout wasn't a thing at the time, and you couldn't shoot in combat. I was getting kicked, but that 1 storm surge was just up against a ruined wall, and I just threw in there, and he ended up charging 2 other storm surges in to try to break it out, and I just kept like throwing like Gene Slur Colts out of reserve just into this pile. It was a beautiful thing, really. Nothing quite like seeing a storm surge that can walk over models, but physically cannot walk over any models.
Yes.
6 inches, and I'm like, we're friends now.
Assume 8th edition.
Yeah, this was definitely 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know if Martin has played in the 9th, actually. Which is unfortunate, but he's been enjoying his time off.
Do you think Games Workshop is aware how the game's status is in competitive play?
Some people who work for Games Workshop are aware. You know, the nebulous is Games Workshop aware is like, do the people who make decisions in Games Workshop know? I don't know about that.
Probably doubt it, honestly.
But there are definitely some employees of Games Workshop who are like, yeah, this isn't great. And they just have to convince their boss that not everyone likes forging the narrative of being the PDF that gets run over by named character orcs. And you see it all the time, like, yeah, big orc raid, they looted this backwater farming planet. And little did we know that we are now the backwater farming planet getting run over by Gazgul. It's like, cool, great, narratives. Yeah. Gazcall and a Speedwog. It's fantastic.
Especially because the tournaments, Games Workshop is running tournaments now.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely know the results of their own tournaments, I assume.
Yeah. We should all buy... We should bring 24 orc flyers.
I honestly will.
But between us,
do it.
If we don't have the rules by then, because there's been no indication, let's just go get 24 scrapjets and scrapjets, not a plane. 24 Wazbomb Blastogets. Just Art of War shows up, 6 planes each. We try to Manny at his own game, and if Manny goes first against all of us, he wins the tournament. That's just it. And if one of us goes first, we're golden. This is what I want.
Having first turn be a huge deal in a game shouldn't be a thing, especially in a turn-based game like this.
Agree.
So,
and especially when it's just a 50-50 roll-off. It's not like...
Exactly, you're not...
Yeah.
It's not about the drop count anymore.
No, it's like you used to be able to like in Apocalypse you could biddle things where Did you ever play like so the first Apocalypse that came out in 4th edition? So both sides. This was actually super cool, and this is not what I'm suggesting for 40k at all, but it was hilarious. So both sides would take a piece of paper and they would bid a deployment time, and whoever bid the lowest got to go first. But as soon as you set the timer to deploy your armies, and as soon as you're done deploying, everything that's not on the table goes in reserves. Which is just like, again, not what we should do for Warhammer, but is hilarious. Like, you imagine like trying to set up like 10,000 points of guard as quickly as you can, and like you had to bid 8 minutes, and because you didn't know what your opponent was gonna say, and you're just like scrambling to get the whole thing out. Like, it just sounds fun.
All this useless junk, reserve.
Yeah, like all the guardsmen are going to reserves. Just tanks, more tanks on the table. And then some people would just like accept that they're going second and like bid like an hour and just deploy their entire army. And you'd be like, all right, do what you can.
That's when you show up with like 3 town Rs. Let's go.
All Titans. 30 seconds, baby.
No, that's why you bring the Manta though, because then you have your whole army inside already embarked.
Just the 1-drop Manta. Beautiful.
I hope they add Sisters of Silence as troops.
I hope
That'd
so
be
too.
a huge deal.
With like the cultist rules where like you can't take more.
Yeah, makes
That'd be
total
perfect.
sense.
I also hope Custodes squads get smaller. It's like smaller minimums.
Yeah. There should be very elite squads.
Especially the elite choices should be like really...
I like what they did with Alaris, except the strat is just inbuilt. That would be cool. Maybe that's something the shield captain calls is Unleashed Alliance.
Yeah, pick a unit in your command phase.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So they start out in their command group and then they go and do their thing. What paint color are you guys slapping around right now? I'm slapping some flat red onto the chest eagles. John is throwing around some...
This is Lothern Blue.
Lothern Blue.
I'm doing
classic.
some a light dry brush on the carapace of all these Termagants. Oh, they don't have a top down.
No, it became the hangout hobby.
That's fair. Termagants. There are many Termagants. I've just been dry brushing Termagants this entire time.
There's so many Termagants on the table.
It's not 0. There are a number of Termagants here, and it is not 0. Getting some Termagants action?
It's not going.
No? Well.
Let's see if I can get the camera working. I think it may be unplugged.
Boo.
Alright.
They will have to believe me when I say that I'm painting many Termagants, and I've been painting Termagants all weekend, and I'm sick of painting Termagants.
Thoughts on putting Metallic and Lung on one of my Cerberus Raider alphas? I don't believe you can. I believe the strat specifies which relics you can take.
Oh man, you would totally do that if you could.
I don't think you can take the Metallic and Lung on there.
Yeah, because that's the campaign-specific ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the stratagem from the AdMech Codex specifies which relics you can actually access for your sergeants.
If you can, and we are somehow wrong on this, I would 100% take that.
Totally. If you're taking Metallic, you're taking the Lung.
And you're taking Cerberus Raiders.
It really depends on what meta. Like the meta that I played against with MSU Metallica into, Jack playing Blood Angels, John playing his sisters. You actually want the Metallic and Lung active when you need it, so you don't want to throw it away. Because you're not really doing big damage in one go with that type of list. Mm-hmm. In fact, you want the consistent damage of protecting the character, but always having the threat of him. That's why I put it on the Techno-Archaeologist. But in this type of meta, with orcs around, hell yeah. Go in first, jam those Cerberus Raiders right in front of their whole army, and
get 2 planes for the price 1.
We're going to work.
Yeah, at that point, you could probably split Fire Ranger Brick and pick up like 2 or 3 planes. Which, You know what? I am okay with that because I'm not very, very fond of planes.
Are the new Pathfinders just an upgrade sprue? I think they're an entirely new kit, honestly, by the way they look.
I heard it was an upgrade sprue, but I could be wrong.
It's just an upgrade sprue?
You haven't gotten one of those yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, so we'll have to wait and see on that.
Hoping Assassinate gets reworked to wound count so GSC won't suffer as much. It's still hard to kill the GSC characters. Like, when John used to play at the GSC in 8th edition, He would have
assassins.
he would have like 4 characters at the end, and that's the only things.
There would be one squad.
Maybe.
There would be one 5-man tucked in a wall somewhere, and the characters would be booking it, like into the back of my deployment zone. I would have lost like a patriarch, and I'd be like, all right, we're good. Unless they had planes, I would then lose more than a patriarch.
Last time Manny was stateside, supposed to win going first with Imperial Fist 2. The Breviathan said no.
Breviathan conquers.
Defense trumped offense.
I do miss that list, but I really, really don't. Really glad it's gone. I miss using the Leviathan, however. I love that thing.
I mean, that's the thing. You don't want lists that they go first, they just win. That's just a boring game.
Yeah.
So, hopefully... That's why I think we should just, once a year, you have the design team come together, and they get to play Art of War player after Art of War player after Art of War player, and we just bring the most broken lists. Like, this is what you did to this game, and we just freeboot his lists right into
ramshackle.
Just, can you deal with this? What are you bringing? Your
Are you having fun yet?
Did you bring your Land Raiders design team, man? Well, guess what? Here it comes.
I don't know if I could do that to someone, like just some poor unsuspecting.
No, I think just showing them the list would be enough.
Man, they've got to see the list though.
They have to see the list. How do they make Wardens useful and a viable choice over Guardians or the Alaris Terminators? Make them the main anti-psychic device. Like, build it into their data sheet. That's the biggest thing that they did to a lot of units that went from terrible in 8th edition to actually useful now, is they just added some extra rules into their data sheet and made them have a real good purpose.
Yep.
So, yeah, when Grey Knights and Thousand Sons are floating around, and probably Demons eventually, you're going to want some Wardens in your list because they're awesome at protecting Custodians against psychic armies. Yep. But when they're not, then you go for Alaris or Guardians. Give them a real purpose. Right now, they're just a Custodian with a really mediocre rule.
Yeah. They're not.
And stratagem.
What do they just have like a 6 of Feeling Pain, right?
Yeah, just against anything.
Okay.
It's powerful, John, okay?
It's
powerful. Are you guys ready for the London contingent to come to Vegas? 100%, David. I saw that you won a GT this past weekend. Congrats, well played. Keep holding the banner high.
Absolutely. What was David playing?
Admech.
All right.
He's a true servant of the Omnissiah.
All right. I'm sure that when Admech get nerfed, you'll still be playing in Las Vegas, Richard.
But yeah, it's always great to see all the international players because there's so many good players across the world, and we don't get to play against them all the time.
That's been a big thing. Is like even though like state metas have started to collide again, we are not having we're not going to have that yet. Soon we will have the international contingents, and I'm very excited for that.
John, tell everyone how NIDs solve everything by going first.
They really don't. However, having a redeploy does make things a lot better, and especially because that redeploy can be used to put things in reserve, which Tyranids desperately need. Because Tyranids used to just reserve the double gaunts every single game because they would just die. But I'm really, really happy that you have a redeploy now because the big thing is that you have that threat of a tournament alpha strike. I don't think it's that bad, honestly. Mostly because it's short ranged and avoidable on things like Termagants. And Gene Stealers do not move as fast as before. They used to go like 40 inches, now they go 28 at most, which even then, I don't advance nearly as reliably as before. You can back up a little bit, throw some forests in the way. So I think the big thing is that it buys the Tyranid player some space where people aren't going to frontline against me because my turn 1 alpha strike can be a lot harder. But because you can just deploy 6 inches off the line and be 100% safe from Devil Gaunts, it just buys me some space, which is really nice.
Buy you some space against Nick.
It certainly did.
More than space. Bought you a cavernous...
Bought me an entire table against Nick.
Should I buy a box of Eliminators that don't have any? Is it bad manner against Drukhari? No, because they usually are in transports still. Disembark behind a wall or have the bodyguard keyword, like the Archon.
Yeah. I'm personally not a huge fan of Yol Eliminators. They're not bad. I've got a couple.
They're very good in Black Templars.
They are good in Black Templars. You get even though they don't benefit from cover, just having Fire and Fade and then potentially Devout Push is a lot of movement on.
And the OBSEC.
And the ability to be OBSEC also very important.
So, where else do you see them, really?
I feel like that's it, honestly. I feel like that's the best place for them. Just have more skirmish.
Raven Guard, I guess.
Yeah, probably Raven Guard. It's just that you don't see Raven Guard, period. So.
Raven who?
Yeah, Raven who?
I love how you guys started ranking things below the base Space Marine Codex, and people were like, how?
I'm like, you underestimate how bad Imperial Fists are. Whoa, who retracted Matthew Nurgle's message? Nurgle Matt, type us out again. I want to see it.
Yes. Would love Flyers to see Flyers not score engage.
That is one of several things that I would personally enjoy.
It's the one of the few things they do actually score. They're pretty much exempted from all the other ones. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Although that would hurt my Remoras, my poor Remoras.
You know what? Are you willing to make that sacrifice for the greater good, perhaps, of the game? Are you willing to sacrifice Remoras to remove?
No, I would never sacrifice Remoras, John.
Stratoraptors and Blast Jets? Come on.
No.
Do what must be done, Richard.
Brad needs to face the Remoras one more time.
That's true. I do want to see that.
The salt. How hilarious would it be if the design people pulled out some secret tech and won?
You know what? If they do,
they did, I would do total props.
Yeah,
total
I wouldn't
props.
even be mad.
I don't think they would even have a chance in 50 games.
Oh.
It doesn't matter what I'm playing. I'll play Tau right now. I don't give him orcs.
Then we'll get Tau nerfed.
Yeah,
easy.
We'll get Tau nerfed.
This is what we need. Nerf the Sunshark Bomber, everyone. Start the campaign. You heard it here first. Nerf the Sunshark.
How you doing, Nurgle Matt? We are always having a great time hobbying. Hope you're doing good.
Nothing better than painting on a nice Monday morning. It's no longer morning, but it feels like it. Alrighty, what do I... Can't do the washes yet. Gotta wait till the end of the stream to do the washes. Everyone knows that, right? Everyone knows that? You wait till the end of the stream to do washes? Not everyone. Fascinating. Matt Allen says that they genuinely think beast snaggers are extremely good. I'm surprised there isn't a spam of them. I think they're good. I just don't think that they're, one, as good as, two, nearly as easy to play as a lot of the Speedwalk Ramshackle units right now. I really hope that when what feels like an inevitable nerf happens for orcs, it's just a question of when, I really hope that orcs still have viable builds, because I think the new Beast Snagger models are very cool. Things like kill rigs have not been oppressive, just pretty strong in testing. They just have not been as strong as buggies. So I hope that orcs have play and they're not nerfed in a way that makes them an unplayable army.
No, that's what I want for Chaos.
Chaos is already so bad.
Unplayable, John.
Alright, that's what I want for Tau. Like, get out of here.
It's not
good. Hey, Adam Lane is in the chat. Adam Lane, fresh off of a top 3 at a super major. Adam got a 3rd place with the good old Admech.
Doing awesome work out there. Boy, does that list not play the mission? No, it does not.
Yeah, Manny was posting some 50-point wins by killing everything in his opponent's army.
Yep.
Okay.
He was a 68-point win at one point against another good player.
Yeah. If you just kill everything they have, that...
Yeah. You don't need points, just destroy them.
Seriously.
Do you want to run Epidemias with Death Guard? I would just run pure Death Guard, frankly.
Yeah, I think even though you could technically summon him so that you don't have to lose your contagions, I still... summoning him is not bad. Summoning him is not bad.
Yeah,
I just don't think you have enough shooting to really proc it up turn 1 easily, especially because other people are removing MSU right now to deal with Speedwalk. So there's a lot less MSU in the meta, or at least successful wins. Although some exceptions do break through, like Venoms, on account of Mr. Naden.
Attending my first event in February at Warhammer World for 40k. Anything I should be mindful of to take with me or prepare for, as I've not played competitive before. Awesome streams, by the way. Well, thanks so much, Donnie. You're definitely going to want to basically prepare all your rules beforehand. Kind of know your rules inside and out so that you can talk through it during the game. That way you're not looking at codexes or any books, and you can just focus on the strategy on the table and making your decisions there. In terms of what to take, I believe they don't use chess clocks, obviously, at Warhammer World, so you won't need that. Use any sort of measurement tools that you're going to need. Enough dice for the type of army that you're playing. Wound markers are always nice as well.
Yep. If you're going to use dice for wound markers, try to have 2 different sets, I like 2 different color dice sets, so I never mix up my wound markers with the dice I roll.
I believe at Warhammer World also, if you're playing a faction at one of their events, it has to be like if you're running Ultramarine, if you're running a blue Space Marine army, it has to be Ultramarines.
I don't know if they actually do that.
Are you sure?
I've
seen that rule.
Oh, okay. Well,
at Warhammer World.
Never mind. I mean, I've never been.
I don't know if
Warhammer
it's
World,
they haven't started. They're just starting up events again, so it might not exist. But last time I looked at their pack.
I mean, if you're going to a first event, I don't think I would worry about that too much.
No, but so whatever you have it painted, just run it as is. Anything else that you would bring?
I mean, honestly, I
like
think,
bringing snacks and stuff.
That's true. Comfortable shoes, right? You know, it does not sound hard, but playing 3 games of Warhammer is more than 3 times harder than playing 1 for reasons that I don't understand.
Stay hydrated too.
No, always. It's very easy to lose track of things.
Yeah.
And just be like, did I have a water since round 1? Like, you get a bottle of water round 1, you go eat lunch, maybe you have a soda, then you play round 2, and then, you kind of hang out, you clean up a little slow, and suddenly it's round 3, and you finish up round 3, and you're like, was that like Coke at noon the last time I drank? Don't let that happen to you. I think I take a water break during, like, literally every single movement phase of the game.
You're also going to want a tray so that you're not packing up your army and unpacking it between rounds.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you can get, a tray that you carry, or you can get a cart to hold all your units.
An Indominus box. I have seen many people use Indominus boxes as army trays.
Sean Naden uses it. Still.
It honestly works. Like, the big boxes that GW makes, they actually hold on for long enough that I have no problem using that. I mean, like, how many Indominus boxes do you think are in this room?
In this room, there's a lot, because I have a bunch.
Yeah, I see 2 up there. There's a Hexfire box. There's another Indominus box. So I see 3 Indominus boxes without getting out from my chair.
I might have at least 2 more in the garage.
Yeah, there's more in the garage. Then there's 2 Cursed City boxes. Woof.
Oh, yeah.
Really thought I would get around to that.
Me too.
Should have known.
Post-monolith type of event.
Post-monolith? Yeah, there you go.
Any tips for a newer Grey Knight person? We have some good Grey Knight games on stream.
Absolutely, both on YouTube and in the War.
Yeah, so if you want to check out some of the previous streams we've done, there's some good examples of how to play it. I played against Nick's Jakari Harlequins, I believe. He's played against several of Jack's armies on stream. So definitely check out those. And then the War, and we've had Grey Knight clinics. We've had some coaching matches with Grey Knights as well, talking about them. So tons of Grey Knight content. And then our Discord has a lot of Grey Knight chatter.
Absolutely.
How do you guys think the meta changes if, say, the limit the number of flyers to 2 per army? Not that much, honestly. Like, 6 of flyers is abusive, but...
Yeah, but like the 2 flyer lists are good.
2 Wasboom Jets, 2 Stratoraptors. Like, it's still good.
Yeah. Like what, your list currently has 3 Stratoraptors?
Yeah.
Do you think that if you have to remove 1 Stratoraptor, do you think there's anything good left in the Admech Codex?
No.
Not a single thing.
It's going to be a struggle, John.
Yeah, I believe you.
I could just slot in Call, though, and maybe that'll make up the difference. He's exactly the same points.
Fantastic.
He's in, baby.
Belisarius,
great.
no!
He's a great to the last, okay? He's like the chariot.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think it'll change, but it'll just be people taking 2. If the limit's 2 flyers, if it's like a rule of 2 instead of a rule of 3, which sounds weird, honestly. A lot of people have been like speculating that there's going to be like less flyer slots into detachment.
Yeah.
I want to see that. 0 in a patrol, 2 in a brigade, 1 in everything else.
No, get it out of the Vanguard.
Out of the Vanguard? Just out? Just
yeah,
you got to take a battalion if you want flyers?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That way you can't do some of these silly builds. I'd honestly take it out of the Outrider too. I know it's a fast thing, but get it out of there.
Get it out of there.
Put it in battalion and brigade.
3 in an Outrider.
No.
3 fast attack 4 flyer slots in an Outrider.
No.
Bring back the air wing.
The old air wing.
The old air wing.
No. Yep, you might get objective markers there, but it'll be useful to bring them. I and the guys of the Art of War typically use the neoprene mats, which mean that there's no mystery, and it's not... Those little poker chips are super easy to bump, and then measuring exactly to them isn't always clear. So it's much easier if you have the neoprene mats, because you're touching it, you're in.
Man, the worst thing that I've ever done with a poker chip. Do you know how like poker chips are like they're a little heavy, they've got some metal in them?
Yep.
So a demon army that I played in 7th, it was fully magnetized for my army case. I was using one of the TableWar army cases.
Let's see where this is going.
You can guess, yeah, at a Lord of Change, just take an objective on a wild ride. And this was back when it was player-placed objectives. And, like, I didn't realize the objective was gone until, like, halfway through my psychic phase after I moved 20 inches in a different direction. I'm like, so, like, wasn't there an objective here? And we're all like, yeah, there definitely was. And I'm like, right. and we couldn't find it. Like, I didn't find it until after the game. It's like, it was just on the bottom of my Lord of Change. Not Fate Weaver. You should never stoop so low.
John playing Chaos.
Yeah, you know what? It was dark days and I learned my lesson. What can I say?
Some dark times.
No, Chaos. I tried to play demons because I'm like, hey, I like Tyranids. They have hordes and flying monsters. Maybe demons will be fun too and they're more competitive. It didn't click. You know how sometimes you play something and go like, yeah, this is strong. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but like, I failed my Grimwired of like on my Screamer Star like every single game like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, I'm getting sick of this. Like, I would always it wasn't working. I'm not meant to be a Chaos player.
Custodes Brigade to play the 2 Ares gunships.
Yes! I got nothing. Yeah.
Is Discord War Room access only? No. It has our War Room members, but if you're a YouTube member, whichever tier, and if you're also a Patreon, any of those people get access to the Discord. There is a separate section for War Room members in there, but to get access to the main channels, you can sign up for any of the memberships.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of really good conversation going on in those Discords now. You know, we've really been focusing on getting a lot more community involvement in there, so if you haven't checked out our Discord in a while, now is a good time. Grey Knights are going to be hot as long as Dread Knights don't go up a bunch. That seems reasonable, but because of when Grey Knights came out, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't change in whatever the next points update is. They might, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're still pretty recent.
They are.
How do you think Grey Knights will do if the meta is nerfed? They're going to do really well. They're one of the best armies in the game. They're in a top 5
I don't think
faction.
they're going to start suffering anytime soon.
Is there anything that you guys hope will become really good for Tau?
Storms are just...
Fan of regular strike teams, Devilfish broadsides. I would love for Breachers to continue to be good. Crisis suits. I love the Devilfish as well.
Crew talks.
I just... No. Crew. Vespids.
Crew hounds.
Vespids.
Crude hounds, crew talks, Vespids, and the humble Storm Surge are my 5 favorite.
What about the
units.
Crute Shaper?
I don't mind the Crute Shaper, but if he's not Angor proc. I do like Derek though. I like Derek a lot.
Derek doubled in points. He went up percentage-wise. He was one of the units that got the biggest increase from 8th to 9th.
What
he went from 20 points to 40 points.
Ooh, okay, 20 was really dumb.
It was cheap, but like he doesn't do anything.
That's true.
He's also a character, so you can't do Retrieve Octarius.
He's like a little cheap garbage guy to hide places.
For what do you... So what?
I like
he literally does nothing. But like you're saying 20 points is too much. I'd take a single intercessor before I would take him.
No, what? No, I would take a character who does nothing over an intercessor.
I would take an intercessor. At least he's OBSEC. He has a gun that does something.
Look, 40 is too much, but like...
He does nothing, John. He has a 6 of armor set.
And he casts once a game a smite, maybe.
Maybe.
I'll pay 20 points for that.
I will take that intercessor every single day of the week. It's not even a question.
That is a flat-out lie.
How is that a lie? Are you kidding me?
Blatant and disrespectful to truth, honor, and the American way.
I would take a Reaver before him and make it 20 points.
Okay, that's because Reavers are busted. Like, let's not argue about Reavers. Yes, Reavers are busted. They move 26 inches for like... What are they 20 points each?
I have no idea. You're the Space Marine guy.
Oh, Reaver. I was thinking Dark Eldar.
No, I was thinking still Space Marine.
Space Marine Reaver is like 16, 17.
I would take it at 20 points before I would take Derek the Crude.
No, a lone character is a useful thing to have.
It's just, he doesn't do anything.
Oh my god, it's good for objective holding.
I'll have that. They have characters that you're not killing and they have a giant crisis
drones.
They can do that. They don't need Derek the Crude who dies instantly. John. Doesn't benefit Bodyguard, doesn't have Sept.
You don't need Sept where we're going.
Derek is dead to us. He's on the shelf though.
He is. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. There he will remain.
Where is the link? All you have to do if you sign up for the membership is go over to Discord and go to user settings, connections, and then link your Discord account to YouTube, and it'll automatically put you into the channel with all the correct permissions.
Yeah. And if you have any trouble with that, then you can always email the contact@theartofwar40k.com, and I can add you manually.
I do like the mini drones. Mini drones are cool. I really like the Forge World Commander.
They're better than Nurglings. I'll give you that one.
Mini drones are cool.
Yeah, they're not as cool as Gene Circle Familiars, but they're better than Nurglings.
No, the Familiar is awesome.
Familiar is it? I mean, the Alchemicus Familiar is
he's the best one by far. He's like about to. Remember when he shivved the Swarmlord?
Absolutely, just like cracked the bottles, like. Oh.
Swarmlord goes down.
Nick hates when I like insist on actually rolling my attacks, and he's like, "This will never do anything." And I had an Alchemicus Familiar degrade the Swarmlord. It was like a beautiful thing. It's just like he's got the glass bottle, just cracks it on the sidewalk and just shivs the Swarmlord straight in the leg. I was like, "What is happening?"
I wish they were putting out Tau stuff for Farsight Enclaves, but I'll accept Tau stuff. You know? Yeah,
I respect Farsight.
Darkstrider is still a sword.
I respect Farsight for carrying a sword.
So we'll see what he ends up doing. Like he had a pretty good rule in
fall back
in 8th edition,
shoot, right?
Yeah, but it's Tau Sep just isn't very good anymore. Overwatch is just not as good on the denser terrain styles. So hopefully they just trash that. Like I would hopefully they get rid of just for the greater good. It's just not an effective rule in this edition.
Yeah. I mean, they can keep it as like a bonus, but like it shouldn't be the main personality here.
Their main army-wide rule, no. It's just not good enough. They'd have to make it absurd for it to be worthwhile.
I would rather they not.
Just like army-wide 4-up Overwatch or something.
No, what? Why would you say that?
That would be the way to make it good, because otherwise you're not using it.
You're so greedy. If they don't army-wide Overwatch on a 4+ for free without paying command points, it's not even good. Like, what?
When's the last time I used it?
I don't know. You don't play Tau. I haven't played your Tau in like 5 months.
It never comes up. There's so many things that ignore it. Terrain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Tau are going to get something good in the book.
I mean, you would say that. Pathfinder's Darkstrider getting new stuff. They should be good, but look at the Necron book.
They haven't dropped a dud like that since I feel like that's a beginning of edition thing.
Look at the Space Marine vehicles.
Those are pretty bad. One day my storm speeders will come home. One day.
But yeah, most of the...
Talk about gambling and losing. Holy crap. At least I spent prize support on that.
They've done very well with characters getting new stuff. So Crow is actually pretty good, though he's not nowhere near an auto take. The Skitarii Marshal is awesome. Thousand Suns character is actually not bad.
Yeah, I think Infernal Master's pretty decent.
Infernal Master's pretty good. They've done better with the new models having actually useful rules. But man, at the start of the edition, like almost of the new Necron stuff is terrible.
Sekometzer.
The guy that I haven't built yet? He's in that closet of shame.
There's a lot in that closet of shame, Richard.
Yeah, there's a lot of flayed ones in there too, and they have 1,000 little pieces. So.
Oh God.
I cannot wait for that to be actually relevant.
I'll pray for you. Paragon Warsuits? Oh, why would you say that?
See, I would love move when no Overwatch, but you get to move after a charge is declared against you. That would be sweet.
What?
That would be sweet.
You would like to be an unchartable army.
I would like to. I would.
I don't tolerate your fantasies. I'm not going to indulge this.
The Sisters Banner Girl, yes, she is terrible.
Holy God. Astrid Thurga? I what a cool model. I was so excited when they previewed her. Because I love banners. I love ancients. I love all of that.
She did not get the rules.
She did not get the rules. I actually actively forgot she was a model until you just said it. I was about to say,
I did too. Like, chat said it.
Like Vol got good rules. Like so, Sisters characters.
Vol got great rules.
Vol's fantastic. No complaints. Palatine is not quite a marshal, but still pretty useful.
Yeah, she's still quite good.
I have no complaints.
Paragon Warsuits, yep.
Don't say that to me.
Yeah, so Sisters are the most recent example where multiple things were not particularly good.
Poor Sisters. I tried so hard. A lot of effort into that. Built up a false sense of hope. Alright, only 4 Termagants left to put some more base and dry bushes in. How many wins do you think that the Genius Stealer Cult player at Coventry achieved over 8 rounds? So, based on the phrasing there, I'm going to assume that there was 1 Adam, and I'm impressed that they played 8 rounds. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they got 4. I think that's optimistic, but I'm going to go ahead and say 4. Adam, let me know how many they got.
They played nothing but orcs.
Then it wasn't 4. If they played nothing but orcs, it would not be 4. Ooh, okay. Okay, Monolith. Monolith coming together over here. Heck yeah, this thing's going to be big.
This boy's a chunky guy.
That's what I want. I want a big chunky Monolith on the table.
But yeah, look at this.
No, I love it.
This thing doesn't fly, John.
Yeah, hold that up.
Where is it going to land?
Move block.
It's an 8-inch moving thing that doesn't have fly.
Yeah, Dreadnought's managed just fine.
This is not a dreadnought.
That's true. It's even better. See, that is much better than a Dreadnought. I would take a Monolith over any other Dreadnought.
I would take 3 dreadnoughts over the Monolith.
4 and 4. Boom. You know what? Good for them. Yes, if rights were not terrible. It's not that rights are terrible. It's that only one of them is good. And, yeah.
Jason Harrison with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Jason. What do you guys think about the new Speed Freaks Army of Renown? OBSEC bikes, copters sound cool. Seems like flyers could keep freebooters.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's the best way to play orcs now.
It's really good. I think it's
the inbuilt extra defense, the lieutenant aura.
Yeah.
The OBSEC war bikers. They're already trying to table you. They don't care about that third secondary.
Yep.
They either table you or they don't. And let's table people harder.
I love that. I don't love the way you say let's table people harder.
Yeah. Oh, that's what Games Workshop wants. Oof. It's really good. I think it's the better way to play. But we have an orc clinic this week, so we'll see what the orc players think. I'm using a monolith in the game this week. No clue how it's going to fit between terrain.
Very carefully.
It just doesn't. It's stuck in your deployment zone.
They did. Space Marines and Necrons both got dirty on like the flying hover vehicles. Yeah. And like Space Marines have enough other stuff that it works out, but like how does this not fly?
In the pictures, John, it's flying on the box art in the codex.
But like the Impulsor doesn't fly either, and that pisses me off. Gladiators should also fly. Give the Repulsor fly again. It's not like I'm going to take it anyway, but it's a thought that counts. If it lands on something, it instantly kills it. I wouldn't even be mad. Back up off the monolith. Mod if it falls back, but if it normal moves onto an enemy model, an enemy infantry, beast, or swarm auto dies, you know what?
How would it even get there, but still?
I'd be 100% down for that.
What they would do is, because it's Necrons, they'd make it not enemy models, they'd just make it models.
Yeah, well then you can reanimate your warriors.
Well, they don't. That's not a melee or a shooting attack, John.
I mean, like you can use the red orb
into your next command phase.
Yeah,
it's like the Toxicrene. Yes,
the monolith is a great move blocker. That's true. Don't think of the monolith as getting move blocked. Think of it as a move blocker.
It blocks your own army.
It blocks something. Destroying terrain, absolutely. Bring back tank shock. Look, I love this model. I'm so happy to see a model.
Terrain shock.
Tank shock.
I mean, those look sweet.
This do look pretty good. I'm happy.
Alright, now to rinse and repeat that entire process.
Yeah, that was one side.
The side.
The Silent King can fly. Heck yeah.
As he should.
Oh, why don't we have Necrons and Blood Angels on the same side for this Apocalypse game? That's how you gotta do it, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Blood Angels, Necrons, the best of friends. And just friends till the end. You and Jack should do a doubles tournament with Necrons and Blood Angels. That would be iconic.
That would be sweet.
What is a Florida guy doing with a Packer shirt? Wearing it. It'd be a lot worse if I wasn't wearing it, I promise. No one wants that in here.
Look at all these.
Yeah, I know. I'm like eyeballing all of these things we're clipping. Like, what is he doing? But also, you kind of have to, yeah. Rich, did you see
Nick wouldn't, and that's the funny thing.
He would literally... Oh my god, he would. He would literally leave it in.
He would leave those in.
What is your feeling on strike units in a Storm Raven with Grey Knights, Richard? Ed Miller's asking about it because Fritz took a Storm Raven in his GT win list.
I really fear if you go second.
But if you go first, glory eternal.
Glory
And
eternal.
that is what matters most, by far.
If you're planning to play games where you really want to go first in games, that's where the Storm Raven comes
Lean
in.
into it. Yeah, is the Hanseatic open, I think? No, we're gonna wait a little longer on the wash. Can't go washing too early. That's a classic rookie mistake.
Can we get nicked at some point to just build a giant model with 1,000 pieces?
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't think it'll
I mean,
happen.
let's start small. Let's get him to build anything. Let's not get too crazy here.
Yeah, you need to go first with it. Otherwise, it's just insta-dead in the anti-tank that we have in this game.
Yeah, I don't want to see what an Orclist would do to it.
He thought he could redeploy it into reserves. Yeet, core.
That would make it much better.
That would make it significantly better, but unfortunately that rule only works on core.
Yeah. Hopefully he caught that at the event, not after. See, you know who doesn't have core on the redeploy? Tyranids. Gonna put my barbed hair duel in reserves.
Did they get core on any of those rules in Octarius?
Tyranids don't have core.
So,
I firmly believe, by the way, that Tyranids should not get core whenever they get a codex. I firmly believe Tyranids should not have it. Like, Tyranids just don't care about core. There's no way. You are either a synapse creature or you are not a synapse creature. Like, there's no way that a Carnifex is too stubborn to take orders from a Hive Tyrant. How'd you tech against freebooters with Death Guard? Demon Engine spam? I think Plagueburst Crawlers with the Las Cannon things are not bad.
entropy cannon.
Entropy Cannons are actually not bad into Orcs. I think the big thing is you need to remove any MSU elements from your army. And just tech up on anti-tanks. Like maybe if you take Volkite Contemptors along with your Plagueburst Crawlers, maybe look at adding some Cyclone Missile Launchers. Maybe look at replacing some Volkites with like Plasma Cannons. Just try to get more anti-tank in, because I think that Death Guard defensively, if you can prevent that initial +1 to hit and then park in a forest, since you're not going to take wound or hit modifier or move modifiers when you move through them on your infantry, you might actually be able to weather a freebooted shooting phase fairly well. Like, again, no one wants to get shot by that, but like that's about as good as you're getting, right?
Yeah, I assume it's not have a lot of 10-man Poxwalkers running around.
I don't think that's the answer. I think
Or just put them in reserve.
be able to reserve it, yeah.
Well, luckily you have the Tally Man, so do have extra command points.
Good
Cloud of Flies is probably pretty darn useful against.
Oh yeah, you could definitely protect one thing. Yeah, but like I don't know, orcs aren't that good at killing like Blight Lords in a forest.
Yeah, they don't like -1 damage either.
Yep.
So you have some good defensive mechanics. But whatever you have that's easy to kill, if it's not in reserve, they're going to kill it and proc the pluses to hit.
Yep, and then they might actually be able to. They have a lot better shot at killing Plagueburst Crawlers and Dreadnoughts once they're +1 to hit, or +14,
Plus infinity.
and beyond.
How did they not think that was a potential problem?
Yeah, I don't know. Because the old freebooters was just +1 if you had killed any number of enemy units.
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, just make this easier every time. Oh, beautiful monolith, Richard. It just fills me with joy every time.
Look at the heft of this thing.
That is hefty. It's a hefty boy. I'm excited. We got to get the monolith on the table. Kill Magnus with it, like Fate Weaver maybe.
Yeah. Do you know how many CP and chat love is going to be put into the monolith?
I hope it's a lot. I'm going to start throwing money at the monolith.
It's going to do whatever it wants.
Heck yeah.
A monolith and a Talnar show up. And that's the start of it.
Yep. So look, I'm just going to play my knights. Nice and easy.
The monolith is the slow knife. It's the stiletto.
Yep.
Knights are the obvious thing.
The monolith just creeping on up. I can get another 1,000. I could get 3,000 points of knights done real easy.
You're running an Ares gunship?
Heck
Nice.
yeah. What a pro gamer move. I love the Ares. We don't have it, but I want it in my heart.
It has the, what is it? Something.
Magna Blast
the
Cannon.
Magna.
It's like a Magna Blast Cannon. It's like, wah! -1 damage, irrelevant. Wah!
Is it flat 6 plus...
6 plus D3, which
6
is the
plus
weirdest
D3.
number.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's blast weapon too.
D3 shots is like, why?
That's going to be what they change in the next edition, is everything that's D3 shots is just a flat number.
I'm not even mad. Hello. Christian, my nid list on Thursday is going to have a little bit of Gene Store Cult in it. So it's forces technically, but it's like more than 1,800 points of Tyranids in that Leviathan battalion. And then we're going to have 60 Devil Gods in that list, is I think something I have not put on our stream games yet. So I'm really excited for that. I'm personally very optimistic about Tyranids. I don't think they're as good as a couple of the armies out right now, but for the first time they can actually have a possible game into them. And so I'm going to try to take advantage of that and see how far I can take Tyranids.
Hot and spicy predictions. It's really hard to say because they haven't previewed anything yet.
All right.
For them.
No, let's go hot and spicy.
Okay.
Okay, so the mining laser on the Wolf Quad is now a heavy mining laser despite being very small. And it is therefore flat 3 shots, D3 plus 3 damage, strength 10, AP4, ignores cover. Wolf Quads are -1 damage because they're ramshackle. Wolf Quads are obsec because you are awed by their presence. Right? If there was a Wolf Quad on the objective, like there's just a cultist on a frickin' go-kart firing a las cannon at you, and like you're trying to like pick up a map for your boss. Honestly, I feel like that's the point where like, you know what, man, you take this, have fun. Like, go ahead. I'm gonna hang out over here. You get the objective now. Wolf Quads are obsec, which is weird because the rest of the squad is not gonna be obsec. Only the Wolf Quad will be obsec, obviously. I think Wolf Quad should have like a shadow field, right? You know how Nick doesn't ever roll the shadow field on his Archon? He just takes the 4-up save? Instead of taking the 4-up save on a Wolf Quad, because they totally don't have a 5-up anymore, they're 4-up, I'm going to take the shadow field.
John, if you had Sky Slasher Storms at that time, Nick wouldn't have gone to ACO.
100%. They have one more attack.
I know.
He never would have seen it coming. He was a feel no pain on a slith away. It was a beautiful moment. I just wish we had made it happen. I really do.
For Custodes, when they released the Codex, it's actually just the Forge World units, and they discontinue the plastic line.
Yeah, the plastic line goes to Legends. It'll just save time here. It's Trajan, you cut him too. The Constantine Valdor's back, so you can go all Forge World.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Does he actually have rules in 30k?
He has rules in 30k.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are there any?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Nah, none at all.
I assume so.
I mean, I'm sure he's a boss, right? They make
He has
most
to
of
be a
the
boss.
Primarch-esque dudes like beat sticks. Perfect response, absolutely. Wolf Quad hype! Go buy your Wolf Quads, everyone. Reddit's open.
Just Wolf Quads.
Only Wolf Quads. Throw out the rest of the bikes, send them to Warpfire. You do not need them. You only need Wolf Quads.
This becomes an individual entry.
You know what? Like, attack bike it. Like, let's do it. Why not, right? Give me the solo Wolf Quads. Dun, dun, dun. Reading Deathwatch stratagems. Yeah, Deathwatch stratagems are like fine. They really matter sometimes, but not that often. Really just kind of crank that lieutenant, or if you don't already have a lieutenant. I feel like the relics and warlord traits are really what make Deathwatch one of the better Marine chapters.
Oh, yeah.
Good psychic powers as well. Yo, Tim Penny is in the chat. Tim Penny has been a member for 11 months.
Ooh, he's close to the 12-month sub badge.
Ooh, what is the 12-month sub badge? He has a purple samurai right now.
I believe
What is better than
the
purple?
diamond one.
There's a diamond samurai?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I can't see it on here, but
Tim Penny, we're going to check in a month, and we're going to find out what your sub badge looks like. Happy to have you here, though.
Yep, there it is. It's
Diamond
diamonds.
samurai. Ooh, that is shiny. What's the red one?
Oh no, maybe that's 2 years. Maybe the red one.
Red one is still purple is impressive, but red's gonna look even better.
I think diamond is 2 years.
Okay.
Diamond looks sweet.
Diamond looks sweet. I want one of those.
We haven't even been following Art of War for 2 years.
We have not. 2 years ago, we were on Brohammer.
You guys think that Custodes Terminators will retain the 4-up invuln if they lose the +1? I would think they would just get 4-up invulns. Like, come on.
like it's a Custodes. I don't know.
I expect the 3-up invulns to go away, though.
They've
done it for other ones.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll still retain as a relic.
Yeah, like
they kept Drago. Drago's the one of the few things that actually...
I think relic 3-up invulns are fine.
Yeah.
You don't want that space.
But yeah, I expect the Storm Shield guys to be 4-up invuln, +1 to saving throws, and no 3-up invuln.
Maybe like a strat for +1 save or something.
Maybe, yeah. I hope they make the strat for ignore AP 1 and 2 or transhuman a little more expansive. And keep those, honestly. I don't know. If they lose a lot of their defensive strats, I'll get nervous.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll lose some, gain some. It's always a cycle with them.
Maybe they'll get some command phase abilities.
That's guaranteed they're going to lose Advance and Charge, which they already don't have, but every Imperium book except AdMech has lost that so far, so...
Not White Scars.
They have this up. They'll lose it too. Don't worry. Everything's losing that.
It's funny because they're taking away from the Imperium for the most part, but man... And...
Dark Eldar, though.
Dark Eldar. Just army-wide turn 2, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, right? What's the 12-month sub-match? Ooh. That's a good question. Good question. Let's see. Is Matto on track to pick another game? I mean, I know Matto was hyped about the Exorcist, so...
I believe it was Lyle and Matto from last month. Mm-hmm. But I will double-check.
All right.
But yes. We got some good sub-matches.
Got some good ones coming up?
Lyle is doing the Apocalypse game.
That's right.
That is what he wanted.
Oh, goodness, I can't wait.
So, the rest of the troop choice is going to 5-up in... No, I would make them all 4-up invuln, honestly. If there's an army that should be 4-up invuln, it's Custodes.
Yeah.
They should have the same invuln, like Iron Halos and stuff that they're carrying around.
What do you think? They just take the Storm Shields and like make it a 4-up invuln 1-up save?
Yeah, +1 save.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just make them cheaper, honestly, or give them extra rules that make them unique and individual.
Unleash the Lions. Just make that a thing they can do.
Definitely. Sisters of Silence as a useful role would be awesome.
I do really want that. I really do. They're such cool models that I have not had I don't think I have painted any of mine. But I would love to have a reason to.
I have mine on spruce somewhere.
Ooh, gotta get those going soon.
At this point, I don't know where.
I'm sure they're in the Garage of Shame.
There's
not the Closet of Shame.
There's one sprue hanging around from when I bought the Custodes, that big box with the Land Raider and all this stuff.
I bet there is.
The Emperor's Talon box.
Yeah. Man, what are they going to do to the Land Raider to make it competitive? What do they got to do?
I mean, give it extra defensive rolls, give it...
Anything at all?
Not offense. It doesn't need extra offense. It's supposed to be just an extremely durable, mobile tank. So, make it more durable and or make it cheap. But I don't think it should be cheap. It's a legendary vehicle.
Yeah.
Make it really defensive and hard to kill. Doesn't do outrageous amounts of damage, but it gets your units up the board very safely. That's what it's supposed to be for. Like, I need these Terminators in the middle of that guy's army. The Land Raider is the thing I'm going to count on.
Yeah.
Custodes with Advance and Charge would be sweet. Bikes, that would change bikes dramatically.
Oh, I would be terrified of that. No, thank you. Yeah, but like leaks are leaks. You know, they're sometimes accurate, sometimes not. So I don't really know what we're gonna get with the Custodes. I'm not putting too much stock in that until we actually see it.
But we saw that the Blade Champion.
He looks pretty cool. I hope he's not too expensive. If he's like 100 or less, I think he'll be very good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because it's not like Custodes need extra help killing the stuff immediately close to them.
Yeah. So, but it's nice to have a little
he's
character.
Cool.
Yeah, he is cool.
Alright. You should be able to put him on a bike.
And you know what? And the Canonist should get a jump pack. Give me a jump pack Canonist, and then we can talk about shield, champions on bikes.
They've destroyed all the jump packs in the chapter, John.
No! Well, they have so many. They give them out to the Zephyrim. You know what I love?
They give the relics to the novitiates.
God dang it, I hate you. I love that like Seraphim are described as like elite peerless warriors who are like been training with the jump pack forever, and Zephyrim are described as random sisters who wake up like with dreams of the Emperor and are just like so faithful that they go blind and start hitting people with swords. No jump pack training at all. I'm like, what? You just give them the jump pack? It's like, all right. It's like, yeah, Sister Agatha said that she had a dream about the Emperor last night. Well, give her a jump pack and a power sword then. Yeah, launch her in. Heck yeah. She's faithful enough to learn how to do this.
But the novitiates with the order relics. These fresh sisters going into combat with the relics.
Chapter relics.
That's why I want them to do a follow-up kit. That is just the servitors that come
the relic
around.
servitors,
They come up and they get the server, the order relics for them.
Oh man,
that would be cool.
Sounds like
they should be like cataphrons.
No.
Just rolling around on their wheels.
When will I actually don't want cataphrons to be good. You have enough. You have enough right now.
I mean, I don't want to have to build and paint them.
I bought those for you. What did we get for that? Nothing.
I figured that would be the one thing that
I know.
become good.
That's why you did it for the same reason I'm building wolf quads, okay?
I built 3 of them. They're somewhere. Yeah, I just didn't end up painting them.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, these rules are trash.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Losing core, losing infantry.
You don't need that.
It's bad. GW did manage to make a good relic pistol once. They realized their mistake and triple nerfed it.
Yeah, I missed that.
Did you get to run it one time?
No, I didn't.
No?
That was when Jack was playing Sisters.
Jack played it.
Yeah, I think Jack used it once or twice. I was holding out for the new codex. But it was good on Palatine. The old Bloody Rose Palatine, just like... Pew, pew, pew.
Admech did get a terrible relic pistol.
Didn't we all in our hearts?
The Delta pistol.
I'm waiting for like a relic, like Flesh Boar. Like it's coming. I've been looking through the Tyranid relics again, like every time I start playing Tyranids, I go reread all the rules to make sure. And I'm like, wow. These are... There's like 4 different relic Tyranid guns, like one for literally every single type of Tyranid gun. There's a relic Death Spitter, relic Devourer, relic Venom Cannon, relic... there's 2 relic Venom Cannons, and there's a relic Barb Strangler, and they are all uniquely terrible. I'm like, what is happening?
Tyranids and Tau have some really terrible warlord traits and relics.
Holy goodness.
They are embarrassing.
Really are. Yeah, you know what they need to do? They need you know how we get a different Primaris like lieutenant every month?
Yeah.
I just need one of these monthly figures to be a canonist with like a power sword and a jump pack. Like, I do not ask for much. Please. Like, she doesn't need to have all the normal canonist options. I get it. GW really likes their kits not having options. But like, just power sword and jump pack.
You run it the way we want it.
It's like,
none of this options.
Yeah, like if you want to take a chainsword, you can't have any of the other warrior choices. I'm like, fine. You can only take a Rod of Office if you take a power sword. I'm like, ugh, why? Oh, these poor gaunts. God, these are draining my will to live.
Kellermorph will probably lose them.
No, I hope the Kellermorph keeps his relic pistol. I hope it gets better. That was actually not bad. The Kellermorph relic pistol was really not bad. I preferred the Sanctus, and you couldn't afford to do both realistically. But by golly, did I like having those shooting Gene Circle characters. My Sanctus will come back with a vengeance. That thing killed so many librarians.
What about the Alpha?
No, that thing wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I liked it.
No, like it also didn't have a relic sniper, or it could take the.
It could, but it was not nearly as good.
Yeah.
So the Sanctus could like do perils, and the Jackals count.
I watched it.
Count. Do you think we get a Renegade and Heretics update in 9th when we get a Chaos Basement Codex update? I feel like it's coming because ever since they did Blackstone's Fortress, like I've always like had this gut feeling like they got to be doing a Renegades and Heretics thing. But honestly, they've waited so long, man. At this point, I no longer believe that. Maybe they'll do like a new Cultist kit or something at some point. I know some of the rumors were talking about a new Cultist kit, which is fine because the old one is kind of hard to actually get, even though everyone and their mother just has Cultists. Like, buying Cultists is hard. It's just that everyone already has them. So it's kind of weird like that. Alright, let's just get some black paint on. Delver Gaunts are coming along slowly. Finish these up on Wednesday.
Are you sold on the Malceptor?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No?
But he's in the list. He's 185 points.
What does that get you?
It gets you 3 attacks at weapon skill 4.
No, in terms of if you dropped him.
Oh, that's the question, because I want a second Hive Guard unit. It's just I need to then drop another 100-ish points, like 85 points, and that is the hard part. Because I think I want to keep the Malanthrope. Just too good as long as orcs exist. And boy, they sure do exist.
Oh, Speedwalk.
Oh, Speedwalk, I hardly knew you. Please nerf. One day.
Maybe Tau get the Mirror Codex back, sees the initiative rerolls.
Hate to see it.
On a 4-up, Tau actually get to go first.
No.
John, let it happen.
No, that's fine. I actually don't mind that a second.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't. Like, I'm not even going to use this rule.
It's nothing like Cody is making people re-roll their C's roll. It's like, yeah, sorry, do it again. For the one time someone hits the 6-up re-roll, but you're just like, oh god, I did not plan on this.
Cody, can you do it one more time? Just to make sure.
So, like, Mark would like rattle it off like 4 times in a row. Like, how many times do you want to C's? Like, no problem. I'm going first.
The orc said.
Yeah, he believes.
Gork and Mork said.
These gaunts are gonna break me, Richard.
Are they?
Yes, it hurts. Like, my back hurts. There's so many gaunts. All I see is red and blue, just in my dreams.
The monolith is gonna break you.
The monolith will. You know, honestly, I'm gonna if you can normal move the monolith onto anything, I'll pick it up. Just like, go ahead and put it in the game. I don't care. Do it. Like, just normal moves into combat, everything it gets engagement with just dies.
Just gone.
Yeah. How do you think Hera duels are? The barbed one is a gun. Oh yeah, the Barbie's great. I actually really like barbed Hera duels. Tyler Bortel ran them at SoCal before we got Octarius rules and did very well. He had a very respectable 5-1 there. Only dropped in round 6. I think barbed Hera duels are very competitive. They don't really fit my playstyle that well, and with Tyranids, I think I would rather go in a different direction. But I think they're very solid, and if Orc dominance continues, I'm seriously considering putting them in, because they're actually one of those units that is shockingly effective into Orcs.
Shocking.
Yeah, honestly.
What's the profile?
So their gun is strength 8, AP 2 damage 2, total of 12 shots.
Damage 2?
Damage 2, but you can use a strat to make it damage 3.
Pathogenic
Pathogenic Slime, and then you can give them +1 to hit with the Warriors. They have a 2-up save in their T8. And of course, if you pop the Maliceptor buff, then Squig Buggies wound them on 6s because they're -1 strength, and Rockets wound them on 5s. And with a 2-up save and a Feel No Pain, that is really good because they will also be -1 to hit from a Malanthrope. So, like, Orcs shooting is not statistically effective, and now Orcs are Orcs, right? If they roll a bunch of 6s, you're screwed. But it's compared to what they normally do, Barbies hang around a lot longer in Orc shooting, and they can scoop up like 2 Buggies a turn.
What about the Hierophant?
He will also scoop up 2 Buggies a turn, possibly 3. The Hierophant is really good. He's just very expensive, and you have to move him somewhere. Even though he has fly, he is difficult to play with. He's huge.
You thought the monolith was tough to move.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a base, right?
He doesn't have a base. You and your opponent have to agree before the game what his base would be.
It's like the Seraptic.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah, just give him a base. Please.
What do you think of Conrad's Iron Hands that sneaked into the Coventry finals?
I thought they're very good. Like I like them a lot. I just still feel like they have some really rough matchups, and unfortunately that seems to have been supported by what happened in that final game. But I do think Iron Hands are very viable. I know I was a little higher on them than Jack was when we did our tier list. I think Iron Hands are better than Blood Angels. But they're also weird. They've also really only had success in Europe. Which was interesting. So I'm wondering if people will maybe start taking them in the US sometime as they look for Space Marine answers to what's currently going on.
Is the D. McCarran still any good?
It's definitely not bad. I think the current meta, I would rather have Gene Stealers as my missile, because if I go second, I really want to hide. And unfortunately, D. McCarrans are just very easy to see, and people are bringing a lot of anti-tank right now, is the big problem. Is like people are gearing up to kill Buggies and Stratoraptors, and if they're geared up for that and they see a D. McCarran, well, they're not going to struggle to kill it, frankly. So that's my fear.
I'm gonna take a break here. So if you are all good, Mr.
I'm. I think I'm all good to go.
All right.
All right,
Well,
we'll have to pick up the monolith another day.
yep, it's almost done.
Almost done.
It has a bunch of small pieces for the front.
Wednesday hangout.
Wednesday
hobby?
for sure.
100%. Heck yeah.
But thanks everybody for joining us. We got some cool content coming up. In the War Room, we got Meta Monday today, and then back on YouTube is 40K today, recapping all the events from the week.
Absolutely.
And all the new releases and stuff that have been announced. Tim with a $5 super chat. My first test game with Hero Duels was into an early version of John's Ultra Memes. Nids went on the shelf for like 6 months after that.
Oh, I am sad to hear that. But hopefully they can come back. I think Barbed Hero Duels are really not bad.
No, they're with that profile, it's pretty decent, good defense. But thanks so much for that super chat, Mr. Tim. Coming up the rest of the week, we've got Admech versus Drukari coming up.
Yep, that's coming tomorrow.
And that is both Nick and I basically testing lists that could potentially go into orcs, but into each other.
Yes.
See how much it weakens either of those factions. And then there's an orc clinic that day as well. And then over on Thursday, we've got Mr. John playing his Tyranids.
Into Jack's Custodes.
Jack's Custodes. And in the War Room this week, we've got a match which is going to be Warzone Atlanta test prepping, which I believe Jack is playing as Grey Knights.
Yep. I think we're going to throw him into a couple different armies.
Okay. Just get his feet wet, see what he can do with the Grey Knights.
Absolutely. And I believe that's going to be on Wednesday, not Thursday. So we're moving the War Room game by a little bit just to give Jack some travel time to get himself to Warzone Atlanta. And me especially, because I'm driving.
Yeah. Only a 5-hour drive, but man, does that start to add up quick.
It does.
But thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Check out that schedule there or on our social media. And stay tuned for all the awesome content we've got coming up. And like I said, 40K today will be on later with Brad and Scary.
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Dive even deeper into competitive 40K and become a member of the world's most knowledgeable and positive community.
The War Room is an exclusive group that brings together the world's best 40K players as coaches to help anyone from a newer player to an experienced tournament veteran learn, grow, and reach their goals within our shared hobby.
Each week we offer a variety of live stream coaching matches centered around illuminating the thought process and in-game decision making of top players. We explain everything we're doing and why.
You'll learn about the ever-evolving meta, match play mission theory, list making, and discussion of every faction in the game, and have access to analysis of all the latest rules. Our team of highly experienced coaches teach weekly clinics on each individual faction, strategy sessions on deployment and cool tricks, and meta-analyses each week during Meta Monday.
We are committed to not only providing the best knowledge for players available, but also building a one-of-a-kind community.
Come be a part of the War Room.